I hear everything one way, even though they say I don't pay attention. I do everything the same as the way I did it last time. Still you see my life is pitiful, that I'm selfish and predictable. Though I have no voice to disagree, I don't wanna change. Now the day is long with regret, but I know that you pay flags. All the silence that keep me coming back. I'm the one that you hated. You know, the one you didn't want to believe. The one that you hated. Take a look at it now. I'm the next you.
What is going on, guys? It is 8 o'clock. We said we was going to do some dad talk, and we are back to do some dad talk.
We're back.
What is going on, man?
Man, just living the dream. The dad response, living the dream.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. It sucks getting older. So, like, it's you was talking about the rain down there in Texas yesterday. So we got it in Georgia today. And there's something about hearing that rain on the roof. I just woke up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ah,
And you're getting older, so, man, you're getting into that afternoon
Don't
nap
say that.
time.
don't say that, dude. I mean, what really sucks is like I feel bad. My daughter every day this week, it's getting near holiday time. She wants to watch the Christmas movies. I make it through about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's over there like, I'm watching. I'm
Yeah.
watching. But yeah,
You're like,
I haven't got
busted
into
it again.
yeah. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to wake up. I got my coffee. I'm ready. So you guys bring the noise. Bring the noise. Make sure you're like, sharing, subscribing, comment down here. Invite some friends. The Dad Talk Today contest is on the way. Guys, to show you
What you got here?
this lovely apparel. Come on. I need Vanna White. But that's probably a really old thing to say, too. I wonder if any of this generation would know who Vanna White
Anna's
is.
still on.
Is Vanna still on?
Oh, yeah. Looking as good as ever. I mean, she is still rocking the letters.
Oh,
Pat
man.
Sajak's still on. I mean, yeah, they're doing it.
Oh, yeah. I saw that
bet.
Pat still on. I don't think he's going to be on much longer. I mean,
Nah.
Jeopardy will never be the same. We lost Alex Trebek, I think, this year.
Yeah. I mean, I it's one of those I can't watch Jeopardy anymore. Not that I, didn't
No.
offer anything to the show anyway, because that show makes me realize just how dumb I am. But yeah, I mean, Alex Trebek, he was the man.
Who's the
He-
man?
yeah.
Alex, thank you. Thank you for all those hard
Yeah.
years. But we still have Bob Barker, though, right?
He's still kicking.
Wow.
He's retired, but I think he's in his 90s now. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. As you get older, and I remember thinking about this when I was a kid. All my stars. Schwarzenegger, Rambo, and all those guys, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and all that. All those guys are getting old.
They are. But Van Damme can still do the splits, man.
Yeah,
He can still do the splits. That was my guy when I was younger, dude.
Oh man, I loved. He was a BXR. I watched one of his first movies. Actually, I was just playing. It's actually free. It's No Retreat, No Surrender. I used to
Yes.
love that movie in the
Oh, I
80s.
love
It's free on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. And I think it was Thursday or Friday while I was working. I had it in the background playing. And I'm like just getting into it, and love that stuff. Hard,
Dude, I don't know if you saw it, but like when I did that trip out west, I didn't get a break. I was gone for 2 weeks. The first part was in Texas. The second part was Idaho, Montana, Washington State, Oregon, back to Idaho, northern Idaho, then this is southern Idaho. But when we was in Seattle, I got to see the man's grave. I went to Bruce Lee's grave.
Wow.
We had a little bit before our first meeting, and I said, he was like, you want to go anywhere? You want to go to the Space Needle, whatever? I said, I'll look at it. But I was like, I would love to see the man's grave. So I got to see him in Brandon's grave. Talk about dad talk. Brandon is right beside Bruce.
Yeah, that The Crow, that 90s movie, that
The Crow and the Lost Boys, both
Yeah.
are my favorite movies of all time, dude.
yeah, those are two good ones. Yeah, I actually watched The Crow the other day. And my wife's sitting there watching it with me, and It's a guy movie. She was just looking at me like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, shut up. This is
No.
It's
And
a-
he had a good name in that too.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Eric.
Eric Draven, yes, he was a
Yes,
rock
sir.
and roller.
He was
I was trying to connect it together. Yeah, wow.
yeah. So guys, Dad Talk Today t-shirt, whoever likes, shares, comments, put it down, invite some friends. We're going to be giving away one of these today. That's going to be our Christmas giveaway. We had some people sign up on Patreon earlier. If you'd like to support our podcast, what we do, I'm going to do something because I love giving away to the audience. I hate asking for stuff. So let me do some giveaways with it. I don't know if you got to see this time last year, Dwayne. I got to do a presentation with Uncle Cy Robertson from Duck Dynasty.
The man, the Duck Dynasty man.
And everybody knows he's known for his tea.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We did a presentation together in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We got up there and talked about that. And then he got to tell a couple stories about Duck Dynasty driving the monster trucks. But I got some of these cups right here. And these are the legit ones. They got the signature on it. They got it. I got the book
signed.
Oh, dude, they're all signed. I got a whole box of them over here. If somebody signs up on Patreon, I'll get it at the $25 level. I'll throw these out for Christmas because I want to give them to my Dad Talk Today, guys.
I'm gonna be right back with Patreon. Oh no,
Patreon.com/Dad Talk Today.
Yeah, you can actually updating the website. Actually, it's right on there. Sports on Patreon. Hold on, I'll be right.
Absolutely.
Give me a couple minutes here.
All right. Thomas Francis said, "Thank you all for doing what you do and giving hope to us. Thank you." Here we go again. Haley Barnes said, "Hi everyone from Aussie land. Glad you're online again. We've already got Australia in the house, and guess what? Mr. Colin Stewart, he made it back again tonight. We remember you from last night. Hello again from Belfast. What time is it in the U.S. as it's 1 a.m. here in Belfast? It is where I'm at, 8 o'clock. It's, I think, 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. for me. Yeah, 7 p.m. for me in good old Central Time. Mountain is 6. Pacific is 5.
Ah, man, we're getting lots of highs. Everybody, where are you tuning in from tonight? Make sure. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to get those things out of the way because we got your voicemails and we got a lot to talk about. Down there at the bottom, you got the support now, Cash App, Venmo, Dad Talk Today, no spaces. Any money that comes into those two platforms all the way up until Christmas is going to go to sponsor some of these dads, okay, that are going through some of these issues. And we have no shortage of people reaching out. I was just going to the voicemail line not long ago, Dwayne. I think you heard it too. There was people, hey, I'm needing money for Christmas. And I'm like, that's not what that's for.
Yeah. I did want to point out I'm looking in the comments and I see a comment from a young lady who's made a fantastic suggestion here. You need pink shirts for all of your pink followers. Oh, who's that?
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, that must be. Oh, it looks like you.
That's Mrs. Pissed Off Parent.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. I had some at one point in time. It's just hard, dude. It's hard. We'll get it, son. I'd like to get some new merchandise going out there for you guys. If you buy it, we'll make it.
Yeah.
That's it. Somebody said, how can I nominate? Right to the Dad Talk Today Facebook page or Instagram. I do have a secretary that's taking the messages and they're vetting all of the stories. Okay. Because we know that just because it's on the internet doesn't make it true. We want to make sure that if you guys are pitching in, that it's going to people that really need it. And there's more than we're ever going to be able to get to, unfortunately. Yeah. But we are going to get into today's topic. If you got something you'd like us to talk about, put it down there in the comments. We'll read them in between what we're doing. We're going to get to these voicemails. I got time, while we're on here. If you guys want to do some voicemails and get them in tonight, bring them in. 762-441-0281. Let's see who we're going to hear from right here.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name's Ethan. I single father with 4 kids. I have custody of my son and daughter who are 9 and 7. And when I was living in California, I'm currently living in Kansas City, Missouri. I was homeless, lost my place, left it. I left my place so my lady could have her own home. And 6 months later, she sold half the stuff, let the other half go, and was living with another guy. I became addicted to drugs and selling drugs, and I was going nowhere fast. I had 2 outcomes, either prison or death. And, I had the opportunity to move to Missouri, and my mom said, hey, ask Jessica if you can take the kids. And I asked her, and she said, sure. She knew what I was capable of doing. So after a year of being homeless, uh, 6 years later now, I still have my children. I have my own place. I have the same car, a Dodge Challenger that I was living in. And I have a great career. But I have my youngest son who's about to be 2, December 31st, and me and the baby mama had a toxic relationship. I mean, I've been stabbed 3 times, broken plates over my head, thrown out multiple times by my baby mama, with my kids, and it just sucks because, I try so hard. I support all my kids. I have no child support. My oldest son is a straight A student, and I work really hard to take care of him and pay for him, and do what I have to do as a father. But I don't know what I did to deserve for this woman to keep my son from me when she was the one who, when he was born, tested positive for meth, and I protect her by not saying anything to child support when they came to my house. But now she won't let me see him. I'm not violent. I'm not angry. I just want to see my son. She changed both of her numbers. Not sure what to do. I don't have money to get a lawyer at the moment, but I'm working on that. Any advice? Thanks all.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I might have cut that just a smidge too soon. Wow, dude. So a lot that was going on there. He said, he found out she was with another man. He got hooked on drugs, started selling. And I just want to say to the audience, there's so many people that have not been through that process. So it's so easy to look down on somebody that's doing that. But let me tell you, I was talking to a male counselor. Last week, I got one. I got a therapist. Good. Yeah, you all need one. Somebody that understands these issues, right? You need to be able to talk to somebody. But he was just talking about, I told him about my past. I'm 15 years sober now, but what was it that drew you to that? And I was like, man, it made me, I was a guy with low self-esteem. I had depression. I had all these things. And when I took it, he said, you felt safe. And I was like, yes. And that's what these drugs are for men, especially when they're going through a lot of these relationship problems. And that's why it's so easy. Somebody goes through a divorce. They're not seeing their kids. The holidays is going to be a bad time for it. What's something that they do very easily? Pick up that bottle. Let's find a way to medicate. I need to medicate this pain. No different than when you get cut, you're going to throw a Band-Aid on it. I've gotten hurt. It's inside. It's emotional. You might not be able to see it, but what way can I drown it out? Because it's too hard to face. And I am sorry that you're going through that, man. He said something about being homeless. It doesn't sound like he's homeless now, but he's trying to get an attorney so that he can fight this and wanting to know what he can do. I mean, there's a lot of pro se groups and stuff in here that you can learn how to fight that process. But I'll be honest with you. I don't trust the system.
Yeah.
I don't trust the system. You're not going to get a fake answer from me here. And especially like if you're one of those guys that's on the up and up, maybe start taking care of yourself, get your job, do what you can do, and try to work at it a little bit at a time. That answer might change many times. And I don't ever want to be caught giving you the wrong answer. Dwayne, you might have something different, man.
Well, again, we're not attorneys, not legal advice, not fashion conscious. I try to get that out of the way each show, just in case anybody forgets. But I wanted to offer kudos, congratulations. It sounds like the guy was going down a path, and he said, you know what, this isn't going to get me nowhere fast, and pulled himself by his bootstraps up and is doing the best he can. Sounds like again, he was homeless at one point, living out of that. Out of a car, Dodge Challenger, and then over time was able to get himself out of that, and he's working. He sees the right path. He sees the the way forward with his kids. Unfortunately, he's got an ex-partner that doesn't want to do that. Change her numbers and all that. Like you, I don't want to feed the system. I mean, hiring an attorney, all that's going to do, to be honest, is you're going to spend money and probably get nowhere. This is where we're going to have to dig down deep, learn the laws, file the paperwork, and you got to be in the system in order to get your kid. But feeding that monster, the family court system, all it's going to do is just, you're going to be years from now probably in the same place. Nothing magical is going to happen regardless of what they tell you when you pay that retainer. as Eric said, get learn, get educated on what the laws are. I guess she's still in if she's in Missouri or whatever state that she's in with the kids. Most states have a custody interference law or something on the books that talk about that. Learn about that and see what you can file in her county, wherever she's at, to get those kids. You also didn't mention or didn't say if you were married or if this was an out of wedlock situation.
Right.
That is going to have an impact. I mean, if you were married, your name's on the birth certificate, you're going to have a little bit more clout. I mean, there's just no way of sugarcoating it. If it was a, baby mama unmarried situation, your name, and even if your name's on the birth certificate, it's going to be hard as hell because they're going to want to put someone on child support. They're going to want to, that's their focus, not getting you reunited with your child. That's just the cold hard facts. I would, suggest getting into the support group, ask the questions, be very succinct, talk about the states and as succinctly as possible, what happened and what your ultimate goal is. And then see what kind of assistance you can get there. And there's a lot of self-help, Google, Pro Se help in Missouri, and then, see what that information gets you and continue reaching out to us. As we get more information, or if you want to put something in the comments, more about your situation, we can try to direct you, but that's kind of, on air, it's kind of the best advice that we can give you at this point with what we know.
Yeah, that support group, guys. There's so many people that are going through these same situations. We have to be careful. We are not an attorney, as Dwayne has said, but we are a couple of guys that can definitely empathize with your situation, and we're able enough to get on the screen, be vulnerable, and go through those challenges with you. So, but there is several people that have had to get very inventive. I know some of these guys that have went pro se and taught themselves, and they'd kick any lawyer's butt out there.
Yeah.
Shock, guys. They're out there. I think Mr. Karen Champagne would be one of them.
Taryn out of Texas would be a great one. Yeah, I mean, I know people have this idea that these attorneys have this air of sophistication. They know the law. They don't know the law. They were able to pass a bar, which who knows how that goes. And they have a foundation, and a lot of it's with them is connections. Who gives the biggest contribution and things like that. 99% of all of these documents are all templates. In Texas, I'm in Texas, just so you know, I'm in Texas. So that's why we have texaslawhelp.org, and it has all the templates you would possibly need to do anything. And you just put your name in, their name in, and what you want to do in, plain language, and that'll get you started down the path. And there is self-help with that. So I'm sure they have that for your state as well.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. Like, share, subscribe. I see you on here. Make sure you're doing this. I know somebody wants this t-shirt. It is the most awesome t-shirt. Any party that you wear it to, anywhere you go, you're going to get compliments from everybody. I promise you, you will. When you wear that Dad Talk Today t-shirt, if you win it.
Is it a French cut?
Huh?
Is it a French cut?
To be honest with you guys, it was probably made in China.
Okay. All right. There we go. Well, we can say it's a French cut. It's going to be tight around the arms to accent the muscles there, and then pull the six pack in. So there we go. Yeah, we can just do that. That one guy we had earlier showing off those guns. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at it. All right, keep the voicemails coming in, guys. I've already added a few since we've been on here, so you'll hear yourself here in a second. 762-441-0281. Let's get to our next caller.
Hi, Eric. Tom McCarthy from New England. I was hoping on getting child support to be put on a state card so you can track what's being bought. So just, items for the children can be bought. That would be, something. And I would love to see you get on Joe Rogan. I've emailed him a few times. And I was hoping if a lot of us could email him, and hopefully we can get you on the show. That would be great exposure. Thank you very much, and fight hard, baby.
Dude, you got to love the northern accent. Fight hard. Fight hard, baby. I appreciate that. There goes another call for Rogan. We've heard that a few times. Rogan, come on.
Yeah, maybe get everyone emailing the office. Get Eric on.
I'll wear that shirt.
Yeah, well,
I'll wear that shirt. You'll love it too.
Yeah, Josh put a comment in here that I kind of like. Wear that shirt. Josh, is it 7:19 my time? It
Oh,
said, you
dude.
wear that shirt and you'll have a new boo in 48 hours.
None of these statements have been evaluated by the FDA.
Yeah.
Which I don't guess they would have anything to do with t-shirts.
Nah.
We ain't get where we're not promising any results. None of these testimonies are, but you know what? You should believe them because you will. You will. You can get that boo 48 hours.
48 hours.
48 hours. You need that shirt. Like, share, subscribe. Let's
Boom
keep it
Bob.
going, guys. 762-441-0281.
Hey, what's up, Eric? This is Daniel in Alabama. First off, I want to say, really appreciate you advocating for dads out there that are trying to have relationships with their kids, and definitely been through that myself, and I'm very thankful that you're out there advocating in the public forum for that. Anyway, I just wanted to give some praise to the Lord for the positive outcome that we've got in our family. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, challenges involving child custody, and my ex-wife and the mother of my children. But all of that said, praise be to God, we're all back together, and life is improving, and our kids are doing well. And we really found, both of us, myself and my children's mother, realize now that it was the lawyers that were manipulating the situation all along, and it cost us a lot of time and money with our children, or time with our children and money, before we figured that out. And glad to know it now. Wish we would have figured it out sooner. I wish she would have figured it out sooner anyway. But anyway, she's figured it out, and I figured it out quite some time ago, and I would encourage any dads out there to, first off, be prayerful and trust in God and seek His will. But also, if you can get the lawyers out from between you and your children's mother, you have a lot better chance of working things out in a positive way. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you, Eric.
Let me tell you something there, brother. I am so damn proud to hear that, because as much as we talk about the challenges here, knowing that there was a family saved that doesn't have to go through this, but let that be a lesson to you guys that are going through that right now. Any of the ladies, any of the men that's out there, keep the family courts out of it. When the attorneys get involved, they are there to increase conflict, because if you're not fussing, they have nothing to argue about. And so here's two people that got back together. Okay. And I hope that marriage goes good. Prayers and blessings over your family, man. But here they go. They're back together. But those attorneys was just trying to rip that family apart, because now we can make some money off of it. Hey, you need to sue them for this. You need to sue them for that. The Wedding Story, again, or the Marriage Story, that's on Netflix, guys. Watch it. It is very reminiscent of what we're seeing inside of these family law courts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say hit the applause there for them. I mean, hats off to you guys.
He had to remind me of that one.
Yeah,
we got to start using these.
Yeah, you got a whole board.
Somebody give me a dad joke. Yeah. Come on, give me some dad jokes. I want to hear some dad jokes.
I got nothing. I'm sure if my wife is listening, she's like, tell him this one. I don't have anything that's G or even PG rated, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of some, but
I made up one. You guys might not think it's funny, but I made up one.
All right.
I mean, I guess you could say, what do you call a family court with this one too? But what do you call a ghost that has diarrhea? Bullshit. Okay.
Oh, God, that's a good one.
Bullshit.
Boosh. I gotta probably use that one on one of my meetings here. But no, I mean, hats off to the guy. I mean, actually, it's a double win or triple win. He was able to save his family. He's able to prevent him and his wife by working together and keeping the family. Well, I'm trying not to say any bad words here. The family court system out of it. They were able to work it out amongst themselves. They just ultimately decided to stay together. Their kids, their chances of being runaways, dropouts, on drugs, rapists, incarcerated for things like that and all this other stuff. They reduced that by so much by keeping that intact family. I mean, yeah, not to get too religious, but God saw that. He's jumping for joy. I mean, it's just it's great to hear that it was going to the brink, and they told the attorneys no, just like in Family Story or the Marriage Story. They ultimately got divorced, but they said no, we're going. It's worth fighting for, and they did it.
But I mean, it was a couple that could have done the divorce amicably. They had no reason for it to go south. They just didn't want to be together anymore. It's like they had grown apart, and then you just start seeing that wedge being driven in there. And it came from her talking to one of her friends. They said, "Girl, you need to go get an attorney." I don't want an attorney. He's a good dad. We don't need to fight. Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen. He's gonna do this. He's gonna hurt you. All these things are gonna happen. And his buddies are telling him, "Dude, you're gonna get screwed in court, and they're gonna do this, and you better put some false allegations on her, and you better put false against." And it's all, and they were laughing all the way to the bank as they're making that down payment on their second vacation home or getting their kids' legacy fund rolling or whatever. And they're laughing all the way to the bank. But good job for these guys.
And so it reminds me too, like I talk about that second attorney I went to. Oh man, you had a great case. I can help you 10,000 on retainer. And that's just to get started. That is exactly what happened in Marriage Story. They told the guy, "Oh, we can get you what you want." And the whole way, dude, we can get you what you want. We can get you what you want. The dad's got like this crummy apartment he's doing without just so he can pay these bills. And all the way up until the end, he's gave these false promises. And when that last day comes up, you need to settle. You don't have much of a case. They already got all the money. They got what they wanted, and they pulled the wool over this guy's eyes. And that's why I don't want to particularly suggest any of those guys to you.
Don't support. I mean, and that's their job, is to create the conflict, and they love this bloodbath. That's why the first question out of their mouths, they don't ask you, "Are you okay?" or whatever. No. Give me your financial statements. That should tell you everything you know. And the younger people and people that are, getting married, thinking about getting all that, they need to hear this and know what's going to happen the minute they decide to separate. Because you get an attorney involved, they're going to ruin it 99.9% of the time.
Absolutely. Guys, keep it coming in. Like, share, subscribe. Win this shirt, 762-441-0281. Let's get to the next call.
Hey, good morning, Eric. It's Hunter Youngblood out here in Texas. You guys are doing a great job there at Dad Talk today. I was going to comment on child support. As many of you know, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in family court, and I was awarded 50-50, but the judge out here in Texas went over the max, even though I had 50-50. I was relegated to paying $27.50 a month while my ex-wife had no job. Zero job, paying $27.50 a month. At that time, the max for 3 children was $25.65. So I just thought I got hosed. I think it's ridiculous that she's allowed to not work and me pay over the max. And I did it for 7-8 years. I recently just went back and she tried to modify it even to get more child support. And I recently went back and the judge actually reduced it. He reduced it. He still doesn't have a job, but he tacked her at minimum wage. I'm down to like $24.17 a month, and I still have 50-50 of my kids. I'm just saying it's a big money maker. It's ridiculous, and I think if you have 50-50, there should be no child support, and everyone should support themselves. Thanks for the job you guys are doing, and Merry Christmas to all y'all. Talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas, Hunter.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. A big supporter of the show, guys. Met him one of my first trips down there to Texas. I can imagine that. What does he said? $2,750 a month. Think about what's that? That's close to $36,000 a month, guys. Holy crap. That is a full payday. She doesn't have to work, right? You think you want to better yourself, but here we go. All these years later, she still doesn't have a job. We're not providing support. We're providing a lifestyle. If you don't want to live together anymore, why are you completely basing your life now off of something that you said you wanted to leave? I don't get it.
They want the money.
They want the money. It is about the money.
It's about the money.
Tell
Always about the money.
you guys not to make it about the money, but make no mistake, that's just a deflection because it is about the money for them.
About the money. Yeah. Yeah. I believe it was the same court that I went through. His a little bit different, but in Texas, every 3 years, and I think whenever the wind changes, they can take you back for more child support. Usually they'll get more because again, they have to get those increases in incentives so they can get their big $600 million bonus check at the end of the year. It's just the thing. And with Hunter's case, they put it, and I hope everyone's listening, they put it above the max because you have judicial discretion. The judge is God in his or her courtroom. They can do whatever the hell they want to.
Yep.
If they want to put you in jail for no reason, they can do it. If they want to make you, okay. If they want to make you sell your house, and I won't get triggered, I promise, but make you sell a house that you bought and paid for and sweat over and did it with your own money, they can do it. They can order you to sell whatever they feel like. It doesn't matter if it was an heirloom or it was before the marriage. It does not matter. They have full discretion and immunity. They can do whatever they want.
And we've seen it where they make some of the worst calls out there where there's kids that have lost their lives. There's parents that have lost their lives and nothing. There's no consequences, guys. I mean, the very first case that really went crazy on here, and I've talked about it a few times, Jonathan Vanderhagen's case, 1.5-year-old baby boy that he told him plainly, if you don't give me custody, something's going to happen. And then his son died. That person should be behind bars and their license should be stripped. They should not be allowed behind a bench one bit whatsoever. What's going on? I think they're still there, man.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was done. Jonathan, okay, after he tells him this, guys, says, if you don't give me custody of my son's going to die. His son dies. So he goes on Facebook to do what we're doing now, to speak up on it. Guess what happens to him then? He ends up in jail.
Yep.
With a $500,000 bond for speaking up against this.
$500,000 bond. What do
$500,000 bond? It was the biggest bond. It was the biggest bond that had ever been set up there in Michigan.
Yeah, for First Amendment. I don't believe he threatened anybody or anything like that. It was just he was talking about the case. He got a $500,000 bond. What's the standard bond for someone that's accused? And we all know that, and if they did it, it's pretty obvious and they're a flight risk. What is the standard bond for someone that commits murder?
What?
Not close. $100,000.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a guy that is beyond broken because he just lost his child because of the judge and is saying, no, I want the world to know what these people did. And they put him in jail and put him on a $500,000 bond. It's ridiculous.
Dude, PTSD in these situations is real. These are some of the guys you get around them and you talk to them about their case and like they even start talking about family law. I mean, I've seen the consequences of it. Could you imagine? And then, that was one of the hardest things for me, man, is when that baby boy died. He wanted to send me the pictures. He was trying to figure out what was going on in that case. And I was like, dude, I can't, man.
Yeah.
I can't. But I mean, and we're 4 or 5 years removed from that situation. Nothing's ever been done.
No. Oh, no. It's a Tuesday. I mean,
there's your example for judicial immunity, guys. I mean, or go back to Mast. I have evidence. I can't look at it. I don't have anything to play with. That judge should be fired.
Yeah.
Should be fired. And there should be people that are just hot, man. Outside.
The level of incompetence in family law is ridiculous.
A lot of people don't know this, dude. When I was up in North Dakota, I went to the courthouse and tried to talk to him. He wouldn't talk to me.
I saw the video and again, for everybody, go to YouTube or go to Dad Talk Today. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th video down. Watch the John Mast documentary. It's 100% free. A lot of personal funds were put into that to get that story out. And it is a well-documented, it's a very professionally done video. And I saw the scene where you were at the courthouse and they're like, we're not talking to you people. And sent you out the door.
It was crazy that we even got in there in the first place, Dwayne. That was like one of those undercover things. We told him when he was there, we was making a documentary. There was a case that had happened there. They let us in the courtroom, gave us the tour and everything. So we're sitting there filming. And then they point and there was like, there's the judge. So I knock on the door and I was like, can I talk to him? And he's like, "Who are you?" "Eric Carroll with Dad Talk Today." And it was just like awkward silence. And they come back later on and they're like, he's not available right now. I was like, "Well, tell him I stopped by." And we're not done with that one. We're not done with that one. But guys, we're just talking about one of many, many situations. It's not just one of those bad players. There's bad players all across this country, and how some of these guys have licenses, I have no idea. I feel bad for you guys down in the Bible Belt. Those judges are set in like the prehistoric times, and they haven't progressed with the times. But getting off of that, YouTube, Michael Keller said, "Good early Monday
Switzerland.
morning from Switzerland."
Wow.
Dude, I love seeing this. I know. I mean, like, I don't, because I don't know what's going on in your country to make you be tuning in at that time of day. But I'm glad that you are.
Yes.
We are glad to have you here, guys. Tell us what's going on in your country. If you want people to know, we'll tell them.
Yeah.
I will definitely tell them. We're going to keep on with the voicemails. Hey, maybe give us one from Switzerland. Switzerland. Almost got tongue tied on that. 762-441-0281.
Hey, what's up? I think it's cool what you're doing right now. My name is Johnny Nettles, and I'm a father of a 7-year-old. And the whole thing about child support, I agree with it to an extent. Right now,
All right, bud.
right now, I'm not technically divorced or anything. I've been separated for almost a year now, and I do agree with child support to an extent. But the thing is, it's like I help my wife out a lot, and she helps me out. I mean, don't get me wrong, she helps me out, but you know, it's a two-sided sword. You know, it's like I still have the same joint custody bank account in a sense, but you know, it's like it does suck at the same time, but at the same time, it's like I'm glad I'm to help my son out, but I don't even know 100% if he is technically my 100% blood or not, but man, this sucks. It's
Sometimes it's just hard to talk about this stuff.
after being put on a spotlight, dude, don't use my thing.
Oh,
mean,
I didn't hear that.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but
Here, I'm going to cut it off right there, dude. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, though. Just like I said, when these guys get into talking, we kind of know where they're at. This sounds like a guy that the process hasn't completely got there yet. You're confused. There's probably denial. There's many things you don't know what the hell's going on right now. Okay. So we're glad you're here, and I'm glad you are trying to speak. That voicemail line is still open for you. If you need to, delete it a couple of times, and when you get it ready, if you got to rehearse it or whatever,
right.
put it on there. But it's okay to be where you're at right now. I know it sucks to be there. It's hard to say, look, I am going to get on this phone, or I'm going to get on this screen and say, here's my vulnerabilities. Here's what's going on in my personal life. And I want to share it with others because I want to get it off my chest. Right. But I'm telling you, man, it's okay. That is the reason why we share the moments that we share with you guys, because a lot of the moments we're sharing with you, I don't know about you, Dwayne, but I'd rather never think about them again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
That's the hardest part of dad talk is I am a happily married man. And a lot of that is I've got some distance from it, but I have to go back to those moments because I know where you guys were. And this stuff triggers me too, man. But glad you are here, brother. Just keep in there. And we've all been in that place. We've all been, and I'm sorry. Like I said, if I just saw that, I would have just listened to it and sent you some well wishes. But you got some words for him, Dwayne?
Oh, I mean, in a way, I know it, but it was, to have the balls to call in. I mean, when you go through stuff, you're ashamed. You've had your entire life just ripped up, and you're trying to put it all together again. He's probably in the very beginning. He's probably normally a well-spoken guy that has a direction in life, and this stuff just screws with you. He called in and was just like, he doesn't know how to express it. He's doing think about like Saving Private Ryan, the guy on the beach that just lost his arm. That's kind of probably where he was at. I mean, he's just trying to survive and try to articulate this whole mess. I mean, it sounds like he's trying to work things out, or he's working the support piece out with his ex-partner and all that, and it's just trying to articulate and trying to find those words. This is tough. I mean, did you want to shout from the rooftops when you were going through it? Hell no. You were, you're like, I don't want to tell a soul what the hell happened to me. This guy had the balls. I mean, he has the strength to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to call a, international show here and tell part of my story. That takes balls in my book. I mean, I could be wrong, but it takes balls in my book. Brass ones.
Next year, it'll be 4 years doing this show. And you guys in the past 2 weeks have heard more of my story than you ever have. Okay. Yeah. I had one time early on where somebody kept pressing me like, Eric, you need to go on there. And I'm like, nope, but I finally did. And then what happens? I get screenshots sent from people, from my ex. Like, she took a picture while I was in the middle of talking about something that really, see, that's who he is. That's who he is. And I was like, man, don't even send it to me. I don't even want to see that crap. It just makes you not want to touch it. Yeah. Right. So it's even hard for me, even though I talk about this every day, because these are very personal moments, and we have kids, we have family that's affected by these issues. But it takes a very brave man to step up and do that, because you might not see this, but you're turning your pain into purpose, man. Every single one of you guys, when you come in here and do your story, you might be just trying to offload it off of your chest, but there's more people that are listening to it saying that's my situation, and we are empowering more men to stop suffering in silence. You don't have to suffer in silence. This is your platform. Get your voice out. Mm-hmm. So that's it. Let's get some more of this out. Let's empower some more men, Dwayne, with these calls. 762-441-0281. I'm praying for you out there, buddy.
Hi, Eric. This is Ryan Walter out in California. The prompt said you call with thoughts about child support. Well, child support as a concept is very good. We should support our children. But child support as an institution is a very bad idea, because it says how we should support our children and what role a father should have. And this is a very bad idea for the government to be involved with someone's family life in the first place, except in very extreme cases of abuse, molestation, of course, then the cops should definitely absolutely come and lock the person up. But as far as the role of supporting a child, then no, they should not be involved. Now, I've been fighting them since the year 2000, and it's taken me until now to figure out how to fight them, and I'm just going to share what I'm doing, and I think it works, and I think it seems like something that wouldn't work to most people. You have to start with the administrative process, and that starts with a complaint to the local child support agency. They typically do not respond to the complaints because it means they're going to be in hot water with their bosses at the state level and the federal level. The Administration for Children and Families is their boss for administrative processes. At the federal level, you can find them, and you can call them, and you can email them with complaints, and they'll look into it, but they can't really do anything. They can suggest things. Now, the state level, the state hearing process is every state will have like an office of state hearings or something like that. I'm in the middle of this process now. It seems like a meaningless and just pain in the butt kind of thing to do to get answers and things taken care of. But if you feel like they're abusing you, start with the complaints process to the local child support agency. When they typically do not respond to you in the 30 days required, then you go directly to the state. The state will then, it seems like a big pain in the butt, I know, but you got to do it this way, because to get to the courts, you have to start at the administrative process. They will send you a letter saying that you have to go to the local child support agency again. But at this point, the bosses are involved. You get the local child support agency doing an earnest response to your complaint resolution. And then they typically will just tell a bunch of lies and say they've done nothing wrong. Well, at that point, you go back to the state hearing process. You write back to the state again, do the state complaint again, and then you'll get yourself in the state hearing. After that process is done, I am at that level right now. That's where I am right now. It's taken me 20 years to figure this out, so I'm sharing with you guys something that's been hard fought to get to. I'm at that level right now. My hearing is supposed to be on the 20th. This county is squirming. The county of San Luis Obispo in California, they're squirming. Hi, Eric. This is Ryan Walter out in California.
We lost him there. All right. Well, a lot, dude. A lot. Seems like this guy's been fighting the system for a while, Dwayne.
Yeah, 22 years. Wow. And yeah, a lot of information, and he was able to get most of it out in that 3 minutes. He's like that guy that talked really fast back in like the 80s, like you do that super fast talking. A lot of information. So yeah, I mean, I've heard of what he's talking about doing, and going through the lawsuits and things like that. Others have tried those things, and in various levels of that. The family court system has been around for decades, and they've got this down. And I mean, people are welcome to go that route. I'd love to see it work. I personally don't think it will. That's my own personal 2 cents. Take it for what you paid for. But I mean, hats off. If the guy can make it work, great. They'll have a thing named after him, and this whole thing of cars will come tumbling down. Everything that I've read and seen, it's just so well guarded, documented, and all the other stuff. I just don't see it working.
And that's the thing. I don't know that there's been a day since I've been talking about these issues. I don't hear a different approach, and I'm glad that there's guys out there that are just hitting this every way they can. Guys, if you were talking about a fair system here, it wouldn't be where we're at already. These are people that make the rules and make the laws, and we're going to abide by them. And if you start making some type of steam, all they got to do is add more onto them laws and more legislation and turn around the game. It's hard to beat somebody at a game that they're creating, because that's what they're doing. And that's why, we're not trying to crap on anybody's efforts. I think we've gotten to the point, the only thing that's never happened is have all our people show up here and start making noise. We got Australia, we got Belfast,
Switzerland,
and we've got Switzerland. We've got all these guys showing up. Please, I don't know who there in that country that's going through these issues. Tell them. And you know what? It can't cost me money, because I can't pay to go over there. If you guys can raise the funds and you want me to come over there and turn the camera on and show people what's going on in your country, I promise you, I'll be there. Ask these people here in the States. We'll show up and we'll do it. Like I said, it can't cost me money. But dude, I'll go there in a heartbeat, man. And I want the world to see just how big of an issue it is. But it's also about forming those alliances, Dwayne.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the one thing that we haven't done. And I haven't seen no type of relief through this system yet, through the legislation. And we even see, I've been told where legislation gets repealed and stuff like that, guys. It is going to be really hard to beat this system. And when they see how much money that they lose for giving anybody any relief, and unfortunately, people can't get beyond their own cases long enough to see we're fighting for the greater good of everybody, right? Yeah. Another common one. There is people that thinks this whole system is going to change. This whole system. If somebody hears their story, their one story, I've heard it several times before. You've never heard a story like mine. It's like, you want to bet?
You mean today?
Yeah. Which one do you want me to pull out?
Yeah.
I've heard them all, and they're horrendous. But there's no one story. They know what's going on, guys. They are seeing this stuff, okay, and they do a very good job at sweeping it under the rug.
Right.
We gotta do something different. We can sit here and lie to you. We can sit here and stroke egos, or we can whatever, or we can say enough of the bullshit. Okay. enough of the bullshit. Let's
Ghost
get on
diarrhea.
and do something. That's right. Absolutely. I'm proud of that one.
That's a good one.
It was
My
good.
wife's writing it down. Yeah.
Is she?
Oh, she loves dad jokes. For her birthday, I bought her like a 500 a book with like just pages or a book of nothing but dad jokes. She's a member of like 5 different dad joke websites. It's she loves them. Loves them.
We had the dad joke contest. I thought more people were going to participate. We got some good ones in there.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what the winner was. It was something about what did the chicken do something? Hey, this egg needs to get laid. I just butchered it. But I wish I would have had that. I think the other one I did was like, what's a white person's favorite restaurant?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get completely canceled for that one, right? I'm a graham cracker myself, okay?
Yeah.
Laugh. It's okay.
That's a whole other thing. I mean, guys, come on. We laugh at this stuff. Some of this is just fun. It's fun, not meant to insult or hurt feelings.
Because let me show you why. Because this is what we're going to go to next. And we have to do this in between. Anthony Roberts, thank you for commenting in. He said, haven't seen my daughter in 9 years. No clue where she's at. Pay child support each and every week. Here is a father that is paying into the system and hasn't seen his daughter in 9 years, has no idea where she's at, but they're still collecting the money, Dwayne. How is this even legal?
And that's the thing. They won't help you or do anything. Now, the money has to go somewhere. I mean, she has to be getting the money somehow. I mean, it's not by carrier pigeon on, the Lost Island or something. So, I mean, they know where it's going. They just, again, don't care. But I was trying to get my calculator out and do the 365 days times 9 years. Hopefully some brainiac can come up with that number of days. But that's 9 years. You've lost so much time. I mean, God willing, I hope that, when the kid turns 18 and after all the lies and all the nonsense, it's a success story like that one earlier today, where after 35 years, 30 or 35 years, the daughter reached out to her dad and they were able to reunite. And, it was
I talked to her after the
show.
And she's coming. Yeah.
Oh,
she's coming. I'm going to bring the story on here. That's what I want to start showing, man. Like here is a girl went her whole life thinking a dad abandoned her, probably hated him and had no idea he was trying.
Yeah.
Well, with the other one that we heard today, and we hear about the presents being sent back on Christmas, but mom kept the presents, switched the tag over, and said, "Look what I got you."
Yeah,
freaking evil, man. I mean,
with the comment there, I mean, for that dad, heart goes out to you. I can't even imagine spending any amount of time without my kids. So I can't sit here and go, I feel you, or I know. I have no idea. Hopefully, there's another parent, and that. Get into the help group for Dad Talk Today or any other one and talk to these other dads, because there are a number of folks here that are going through the exact same thing you are, and they can help you, and at least to hear your story, to be, I mean, knowing that you both are going through it at the same time, you both know what's going on. Again, my hope is that, you can get in there, get some resources and find ways to find your daughter. Now, you can hire a PI or do something, but yeah.
Well, I mean, all right, let me give you an example, Anthony. Thank you for telling your story, because then Darren Joseph follows up. I pay child support weekly, work 80 plus hours per week in order to live a life, 200 per week. It's unbelievable. Haven't seen my son in almost 9 years. Anthony Roberts said, haven't seen my daughter in 9 years. The stories, man. Look at you
Darren
guys.
Anthony.
System operating exactly as designed.
Yeah.
As we said. You guys almost have the same story. You got a son, you got a daughter, but repackage the names and send them back out. The system did what it's supposed to do. We need you guys here. One thing is, you're in the right place. I want you to make sure that your friends know about it. Get here, start talking about your stories and empowering other guys. You guys just look, you might be able to talk to each other and be each other's arm to lean on. I mean, that's a pretty
shoulder to cry on.
Shoulder to cry on, man.
Yeah, no, let's get that out of the way. Shoulder to cry on. I mean,
you need it.
Let it out. You got to. In order to get through this, you're going to have to. You got to have someone there that you can count on, that you can call, text, whatever, at 2 a.m. at Christmas. Which, by the way, get a plan for Christmas. Everybody, get a plan for Christmas. If you're any chance at all, you're not going to chance to see your kids. Get a plan. Reach out. get somebody or a group of people you can talk to this holiday season. But was it Darren and Anthony? You guys should meet up. I mean, share each other. I don't know if you can do it on InstaSnap or whatever, but you guys have a lot. Unfortunately, you have a lot in common, but you guys might be able to share things that no one else is going to understand, and you guys can help each other. And that's what all this is about. I mean, Eric putting this on again. Thank you, Eric, for doing all this work and spending all the money and the time and all the calls and all this stuff and reliving your personal hell probably daily. It sounds like just, stories and all that stuff, but it's being put out there. So everybody, we can all come together, lock shoulders, share with one another and get this damn thing done. Sorry. I'm going off on a tangent.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's not like we just say show up today and it's going to be here tomorrow, guys. But with your help, if everybody does a little bit, that's where it goes. And look at all the voicemails we've heard from. Voicemails, the countries. I believe it can happen. I know it can happen.
Yeah.
Let's go. Steve Jankowski, longtime supporter, said, alienated from my daughter since 2012. I still continue to reach out to her to bring her out of the alienation fog. Darius, I'm being forced to be on child support from the state of Texas, and I live in another state. I took the mother to court for DNA. The state of Texas are crooks. Guys, get the DNA test. There is no reason for you not to get the DNA test. If they get mad at you for wanting a DNA test and they're wanting to sign you up for child support, that should be a reason for you to get it even more.
Yeah.
With 33% of these guys that end up getting DNA tests find out they are not the father. You see, they've made TV shows out of it. Okay. You see Maury. Dude, it's out there. And I don't know how anybody, Dwayne, could lay down with another man and make a child and then tell another man that was their child. That is just not the heart of a parent.
That's evil. I mean, it's killed people. I mean, there was the guy that was at a McDonald's, and the mother told that father who'd been caring for that child for I think 5 years that was not he was not the father, and he had a heart attack right there and died. I mean, it happens all the time. And another, I mean, when you're talking to people about this, think about it. Is another thing to think about is the medical aspect of it. Is if that child is not biologically yours, the biological father may have medical history. You may have a medical history, propensity to cancer or whatever that is. That child needs to have that medical information. So something, I think,
sickle cell pneumonia and
anemia. Sickle cell
anemia. I murdered them.
Sorry, but not something on a daily basis. I have to worry. I have conversations. I'll just throw it out there. I mean, let's be honest. But yeah, sickle cell anemia. I mean, that affects the African American community. And if you have a child in that family, that is one of the things that it's a family history item. That if you have had that in your family history, you need to get tested like soon.
Yep.
And you have a child, and it's not something bad can happen. I mean, yeah, I get so worked up on this stuff because these people are having children that they know is not, the biology, and then they can cause all kinds of problems. And a lot of times they just don't care.
No, they don't, man. I'm going to bring up something from YouTube. Michael Keller said DNA tests should be mandatory. That's a controversial one. It's true, only the mother knows if the child is from her. Should the father should equal I'm not too sure what he meant by that, but I think I can pick up on it. And that brings up a great conversation, man. The mom knows, the dad don't.
Yeah.
There goes another part of this. The kid don't. And then the kid is going to believe what they're told and what they grow up in. If you ask me, making a child believe that somebody is their parent only for them to find out years later and for that to be ripped away, I don't care how you label it, that is child abuse.
Yeah.
That is another form of child abuse, guys.
Yeah. And there's no easy way to, get around. I mean, yeah, you banged a couple dudes and you're not sure who the dad is, or who the dad is, or whatever. I'm sorry I went there. But you did that, and you got to put your big girl panties on and have those tough conversations. It's going to come out one way or the other. So might as well get it out earlier on and get in control of that. And wow, Jason is on.
Jason. Yes. Thank you, sir. And you can get your comment there for $9.99.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no cost. We were bringing them up for free, but dude, every little bit helps. And
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. He said, after reading and hearing these testimonies makes me scared to go to court. First one is in January. I'm fighting an alienator and toxic woman. Don't be scared. But here's the thing. A lot of these guys, because of that fear, don't educate themselves. And they go in there. I had a guy, just politician actually, wrote me or called me last week, and he was like, Eric, I got evidence. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. I've got it, man. I've got it. There's no way I'm not going to get it. And I said, buddy, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I said, I hope that you don't have to come back and say, Eric, you were right. But I was like, there is many people that's had to come back. You can have the best case out there. You're not going where they make sense out of things. No. You are not going.
This is not
there.
Matlock.
No, it is not Matlock. It is not a court where they take real evidence into. Dude, I can do whatever I want to do. A lot of times, these contributions to these campaigns, they play a lot into that. Okay, so I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you, you're in the right place. Educate yourself. Get in the Dad Talk Today support group. Talk to some of these guys that have been through this process. How many of you out there? Put it down in the comments. Let's show Jason. I want our brother to see this. How many of you thought that you had your court case whipped? You had it. It was going to be done. I've got evidence. Dude, Vanderhagen, if you don't give me custody of my son is going to die. He was like, there was drugs. There was other things that was going on. Dude, these cases, they won't even listen to him. They got no sympathy. You are a guy. Oh, they'll tell me I'm wrong for saying that. If you are a dad, you are guilty until proven innocent, and anything they say will be used against you in a court of law. Not what you say. That'll be used against you too, but they can say anything they want to about you because there's no consequence for them. So if they get on the losing end, all I got to do is bring in the silver bullet, or I got to bring in whatever I need to throw to get that upper hand. That's how this system works. They love it when they make allegations because then you got to pay that attorney even more money to fight them off. That's how the system goes. It's crooked, man.
Like, I don't know if Jason has an attorney. One of the many things that gets forgotten about in the case, and the attorney almost never brings it up, is in the appeals process. So once you go there, and again, Jason, I don't want to scare you or anybody else, but we're here about keeping it real. Once you go in, the appeals court, all they're going to pay attention to is what was preserved in the record during the case. No new evidence. Nothing that's not preserved in the record from the original case. So if you have evidence and the judge says, I'm not even going to look at it, or I don't have a recorder like in mass situation, or a way to view the information, or whatever excuse they come up with, and then it doesn't get preserved in the record, and then you go to appeals court, all they're going to look at is what was in there. And don't expect a lot out of appeals either. I mean, you're going to have the one shot, and you need to be on your game. You need to study this. You need to figure out who your judge is, their personality, what they like for breakfast, cornflakes or eggs, whatever. Figure out how to manipulate that situation. And I say manipulate in a good way, but manipulate that situation for a positive outcome. That's going to be your best shot. Going in there with the shield of truth and the armor and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make her look like a complete piece of trash and alien. I'm going to use the word alienator every 5 seconds, or she's toxic, or
no, do that.
You might as well just get your paycheck, hand it to her, and just walk out.
Again, because it sounds like you're trying to put that label on there for a second, for a reason. They're narcissistic. They got the flying monkeys. They got this. They got that. And then it sounds like you're trying to put that label on just to convince people. Like it looks like a smear campaign. Because that's a lot of times what the narcissist, I hate using the label, but that's a lot of times what they do. They got to make that smear campaign because they know they can't go off of truth, because truth is going to show most of the time they're batshit crazy. Okay.
Jason says he has a lawyer, a $5,000 retainer. I have about no less than three memes that joke about the $5,000 retainer and what's going to happen. Hopefully your attorneys talk to you about how the appellate court works.
I want to scare the guy. I mean, even just to show you how crooked the courts are, even the attorneys will tell you the same thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. A lot of the advice they'll give you, or when they're talking about how your case is going to go, they'll say it's really according to the judge and what the judge is thinking that day. Why? If the system operated like fluently the way it was supposed to, why would it matter the judge? Because there's judges out there who just see you as a dad and they'll say, nope. Nope.
They say it.
No, they will.
They say it.
Absolutely, they will.
I will not give custody to a father. I will not do it.
You look up the Duluth model, and if you
Oh.
find out everything you need to know about why family court is the way it is, man, 90% of the time you're going to be the abuser. Look up the power and control wheel, guys. Male privilege. There is people that have been taught this trash, because that is exactly what it is, trash. And it has created a lot of the bias along with the money, but there's many different things that has gotten us here. But I say that, Jason, you're here before. Start educating yourself, brother. There's plenty of education out there. I guarantee you go down Dad Talk Today's list I've had on the experts, the attorneys, the politicians, whatever, and take out of it what you will. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a friend. Just
in the trenches with you.
So Michael said, question, it's obvious the chances are against father, but is there a way to win? Yes, there is, dude. And that's what I don't want to just say, you're going to lose. No. Is there a chance to win in some of these courtrooms where you go up against the wrong judge? Many times, no, dude. I'll tell you. That's what I'll tell you. You never know. It's like, do you want to gamble when it comes to your kids and your life and your reputation? Because that's what you're doing. It's like going into a slot machine and saying, it might not happen, but I got a chance, so I'm just going to pull it. And if it goes, this is what I got to do if I want this. So I'm just going to gamble it. Do you want to gamble that? I don't know that you want to gamble that. So you can play the game. I don't want to play the game. I want to destroy the game. I want to see this system crumble to its knees, man. And that's why we're begging you guys to show up. I promise you. Once so many of these guys start speaking and stop hiding there in silence is when they're going to get on notice. And that does scare them, right? Because it does. Here's this system, dude, is these fathers coming together. But they know most of the time these guys aren't. They're at work or they're not going to be able to get
organized.
They're unorganized. Bull crap, man. You know what? That's what I love about this. We ain't got volunteers and all this other stuff, Dwayne. This is no drama. This is just coming on, talking to our boys and empowering them. None of us are better than the next guy out there. We're just fathers helping fathers.
It's that simple. And it's that simple.
The answer. That is the answer. We just got to grow it. I promise you. I've seen it. All right, we're going to keep going on with the voicemails. 762-441-0281. I think I just got a voicemail from Donald Trump. I think it's what it said. Hey, Eric, it's Donald Trump. I don't know if that's somebody playing a joke or that they it's not him. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, no.
No, there's no way. Nah. He's
getting
not
myself ready.
Nah.
Get myself ready.
I'll listen to it offline.
My name's Jesse, calling from Iowa. I think that they need to make child support needs-based. You have cases like Kim Kardashian making $200,000 a month on her child support. That is beyond the cost of those children, guaranteed. If it was needs-based, which can easily be done because you just have to determine the economic cost of children, then there would be no incentive for parents to fight over money in court. I think a lot of states, when they went no-fault divorce, it just shifted the money argument to the child support issue. But basically, it would be needs-based, based on the actual economics of the kids, divided by 2 for the non-custodial parent to share the cost, and then that should depreciate to 0 as you approach 50-50 custody. Rent, they include rent and stuff in there. If you have visitation, you also can't live in a tent. That's just how it works. And this should be simply about reducing the unfair cost. This should not be about equalizing and preventing one parent from ever having to work again. I think that if it was needs-based, it would solve a lot of issues. And I think it's pretty telling why it's not needs-based, because the state's incentivized to collect from high payers and ignore the low ones to satisfy their metrics. And if it was needs-based, those $25 payments wouldn't be $25 payments anymore. My name's Jesse, calling from Iowa.
I'm going to throw that on there because that was a great caller. He pretty much nailed that one on the head. I really appreciate it. And you know what? I'm just going to tell you right now. You didn't know you was going to do this, But Jeff Morgan heard you talking about that no fault divorce, and I think he's running from Dallas, Texas over to Georgia so he can get on the microphone to talk to you right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no fault divorce. That is a passion of Jeff Morgan's. If you haven't had a chance to check out any of his stuff, his YouTube channel, full of it, he's got a lot of good information. And yeah, no, the guy nailed it. I mean, if you look at the charts, the infographics on it, when Governor Ronald Reagan passed no fault divorce, the needle just went nuts in the number of divorces, which then resulted in a number of people on welfare, which was bankrupting the states. States had to figure out how to get out of that hole. Federal government stepped in and says, hey, we'll help you out, but when you start collecting child support, and then 75, 96, 78, whatever, the Clinton thing, there was a lot of parts in there, but when they said we're incentivizing you, you're required to do this, you're going to not make money, but we're going to recover money. The states went, hey, we can get some money off of this, and here we are today.
Bowen Shelley said, I was only able to get 40% custody and ended up spending almost 2 years and nearly $50,000. I hear these guys talking about spending $100,000, $250,000. Dwayne, I got my house like 10 years ago, mobile home. It's a nice one. I'm proud of it. At the same time, I think it was like $100,000, everything going, and I had to pay on that 20 years. And I feel like that is a huge amount for me that I got to pay on for 20 years. And I see these guys talking about paying $100,000, $250,000, more than mortgage payments just to be able to see their kids. What the hell is going on, dude?
Chris Clay, I love, because again, his statement was recorded in the court records, and just the 30-second thing. Chris Clay is down here in Texas. His girlfriend, he had 50-50. His girlfriend tragically died in a car accident. The boyfriend, the 6-month boyfriend, well, with the maternal grandparents, because they didn't want to lose time with the child, but they had the boyfriend sue the judge gave the boyfriend equal rights as the natural biological father, Chris, and then that case went all the way to the Supreme Court, or the state Supreme Court here in Texas, to determine those rights. And it recorded in the documents is that I could, at that time it was 175. Now it's $300,000-$400,000. But he says I could have bought a house for what I've spent on this. Earlier today, I talked about a legacy fund, leaving a legacy. That legacy, it's a Dave Ramsey term, and that's leaving behind for your family or for your kids, money to put them at a starting point much higher than where you were at. It's just a way to show how much you care for them. And with all this stuff, we're spending our kids' legacy funds, their inheritances, their grandkids, their great grandkids' inheritance, and all this nonsense. And it's all ridiculous.
And that money doesn't go far nowadays.
No.
It sounds like, that money doesn't go far at all, man. These people need their money. And the one thing that they know that people are going to pay for is their kids.
Their kids, yeah.
It's the most meaningful thing in this life. They have the perfect product. That's what pisses me off. They have treated the kids like products, and they dangle them like carrots in front of the parents' faces, and they wait until the parents are in high conflict so that they won't say, hey, we're being screwed. Perfect.
Well,
Perfect.
You've heard the attorney. It's been quoted a few times. The attorney down here talking to one of our local celebrities in the Fort Worth area, and he was explaining to the guy. The attorney was, the type of family law attorney he is. He says, you would pay. You would pay a certain amount for a watch. You would pay. Again, I'm ad-libbing this, but he says, what would you give me for your kids? And the guy said, they're priceless. I'd give everything I have. He said, exactly. And that's what we're going to do.
There you go.
I will make you fight for your kids, and you will do anything for your children.
Dwayne, I got a comment that just came up, and I'm sure I'm going to want to pick this person's head. So if you're there on YouTube, get ready to answer me. You might have to do some typing. But Harrison Spencer said, during an internship at a DV anger management center, I had to use the Duluth model and power and control wheel. Respectfully speaking, garbage. The wheel should have she as well as he. Harrison, I want you to comment down there. What was they teaching you with that? And what you said, an internship at a DV anger management center. Well, elaborate a little bit more. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Here it's training. that they're getting with this power and control wheel. I used to have it saved on here, but you should see how it targets the man, the male privilege. He's going to be the one that has the affair. He's going to be the one that hits. He's going to be the one that lies. And this is garbage that they're taught inside that not only the family law industry, but they're taught it in that domestic violence industry. And you wonder why there's no domestic violence shelters for men. Guys, if the CDC, Dwayne, is putting out those statistics that 3.5 million women were victims of domestic violence versus 4.2 million men. I don't know why that hasn't become national news, because the first time they're actually showing that men are being victims at a higher rate, but 90% of the guys, if not higher, when we're talking to them, aren't even reporting it. This is why I say you guys suffering in silence. Imagine every one of them guys coming in here that have been victims of domestic violence that feels that nobody's going to listen to him saying, this is happening to me. This is happening to me. And we put the megaphone on them and say, enough of the bullshit, man. We need to get your voices out there. If it's 4.2 million men, I would triple those numbers, if not quadruple those numbers. It might even be bigger. Okay. It is happening more than we could ever imagine. I promise you guys it is, but it goes against the narrative. It goes against that industry. There's just too much money to keep it that way. Too much money. The only way we're going to break, well, the system's already broken, but the only way we're going to break that narrative is us doing it, man.
Yeah. That's the only way this is going to change. Oh, my camera's getting all, there we go. The numbers, you look at the data. I mean, again, the divorce, domestic violence and all that stuff they talk, the data clearly shows who has domestic violence, physical and mental. It's both there. It sounds like you maybe shied away a little bit from the top number of who commits domestic violence. What area? Let's see, what's the word? What type of relationship? Oh boy!
Follow us on Rumble. Dad Talk Today.
After this comment, we'll be shut down. But data is the data. What relationship type is the highest? Has the highest violence?
I'm letting them censor you, Dwayne.
Yeah, they're going to shut me down.
It is when same-sex couples get together and it's not men.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. How you going to get me for that one?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the data is, again, all this stuff shows that, domestic violence is being committed against men more than women. Again, what happens to women is horrible. It's horrible. You should not put your hands on anyone. That's the truth of it. You shouldn't be hitting anyone, but they continually report that it's, we're the men are the perpetrators. We're the ones that, no, we're not. But yet we have one shelter in the entire United States that allows men in. All the Duluth model shows as we're the ones that are toxic masculinity. We have all this stuff. It's absolutely, and we've got to change. We've got to get more people in telling their story. That's the only way it's going to change. That's it. Only way.
Dude, you got us here. While we can do it, let's do it. Harrison said, I didn't think it was fair, and they wouldn't let women. They would let women co-facilitate in men's groups, but I was told no men in women groups because it would trigger them. Very unfair. Do you know how many of these guys have told me they went to these domestic violence shelters when they was going through this and they was turned away? Imagine telling somebody you are not the right sex. The violence towards you doesn't matter. You've got to leave.
Yeah.
That's what, dude, imagine being a veteran.
Yeah.
Imagine being a veteran. He comes back home now. He starts going through that. And it's so easy. Again, PTSD, man. I'm Harrison put another one down there. I'm a IPV domestic violence survivor, so it's very startling to me how that played out. They had me go into an intake assessment because a father was pissed he had to do the program under false allegations. I mean, I understand. Like, if I didn't do that, which I was being accused of, holy crap, man. And that's, we need to start preaching, like, being able to handle the emotions, right? But it really is like, if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're angry, they'll say, oh, he looks like the person that's doing it. If you're not angry, it looks like, they're just trying to get away from it. They're guilty.
Right.
I mean, it is such a hard thing to do, but that's why we got to continue that conversation. We got to get back on. You know, Bowen, this pisses me off. Bowen sit there and said, and my daughter's mother smashed a glass bottle over my head. Even after the domestic violence charges stuck, she somehow still got majority custody.
Yeah.
Jason, where'd it go? My baby's mama was charged 7 times. She was still able to keep my kids. I mean, you guys are seeing it. You guys are seeing it. Keep them coming in. We're going to have to get back on that. It was the single most triggering subject I've ever talked about on Dad Talk. Because if you are a man experiencing domestic violence, being hit, and then you're getting mocked, you're getting gaslit, I dare you to touch me. They want you to touch them.
Oh,
back.
yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
want you to call the cops. They want you to call the cops. It reminds me of the bait and switch, like the Aussies was talking about. We get a no contact order. Hey, you want to see your kids? Yes, I would love to see my kids. You weren't supposed to do that, right? So then I'm going to come and hit you, and then I'm going to say, oh, you're not a man, you're a boy, you're all this, and then I dare you to call the cops. I dare you to call the cops. I mean, dude, go back to the movie Misery. We've talked about it. It's what it is. It's hell on freaking earth, man.
Gone Girl?
Some of these females, to live with them when you're in this situation, being these men, and they might not like the way I said that. It's exactly what it is. It's like the spawn of Satan, man. Hell on earth.
Have you ever seen Gone Girl?
I think I have.
You would know it if you watched that movie. Ben Affleck and
I did, and I think it's
you probably can't watch it again.
I think it's wasn't that made like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's about 10 years ago.
Not the situation I'm talking about was maybe 5. So
okay, so
when I I don't know. You think it would be that triggering?
Yeah, it was. My wife and I, we watched it from our previous relationships, and we sat there going, "Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn." Yeah, it's horrible that people they go through this. They try to get help. They get laughed at, and women for the girls here. You should be pissed off, beyond pissed off, because another piece of it is that when these women, mostly women, make false allegations, that takes resources and all this away from real people that are getting domestic violence. That's a missed part. I'm not ready to tell that story yet, but someone I know went through domestic violence, and they went to get assistance, and they were questioned, they were mocked, and it is a female, and they weren't believed. Why? Because all this stuff, all this fake domestic violence stuff out there that, the Me Too's, well, this was before the Me Too's, but all this stuff was done. I mean, women should be pissed that this is happening.
100%, man. And talking about following in the parents' footsteps, Thomas, you made a good comment. He said 100% agree. And guess what? The children grow up knowing how to act the same. They see this a lot of times, guys. They repeat the same behavior. You are supposed to provide the roadmap for them. You should be teaching them to respect everybody. Nobody should lay their hands on anybody. And there shouldn't be no one size fits all in favoritism in this system.
No.
How any advocate can sit here and listen to these conversations, listen to these voicemails. I'm going to get real with you and say that there is no bias and discredit the challenges. It's just like when I talk about the fatherless issue and I say they don't mention the family court, so it just makes it worse. And then when those people come in, oh, it's not a men thing, it's not a women thing, it's a children's rights issue. Stop making it about fathers, stop making it about dads. You are discrediting every single one of these voices and these guys that are afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
That man, dude, that fires me up so bad because you have no idea what it's like to walk a mile in that man's shoes. I want to see more and more of you speaking up on that issue. Please.
Leave a voicemail. Leave a voicemail. You don't have to leave your name. Tell your story. You got 3 minutes. Tell your story about what you went through, how you survived it, what advice you have for other people. Get it out there. It's therapeutic.
It is. It is. I'm going to tell you, I went through 2 days of hell after we first started that conversation, guys. Panic attacks, asthma attacks, you name it. It was the most triggering thing I've ever been through. And I watched the first day that we only got so many calls. The second day it doubled. The third day it tripled. And more people started feeling empowering to talk about it. But I'm sitting there thinking, I talk about this all the time. And look how hard it was for me, Dwayne. I can only imagine. I mean, we heard the caller earlier. He sat there the voicemail just trying to be able to just muster up the courage or think of the words to come out of his mouth. When you start thinking about, and I understand a lot of these guys have locked this away in a part of their brain to never come out again. They're like, I do not ever want to think about that again. If I'm somebody that's got away from it, please don't make me ever go through that again. The fact is, there is another man. It could be your son. It could be your grandson. That here comes their future from that little part that you've locked away. And we've got to be brave enough to face the day and start empowering these men to get that out. Because, dude, it's not that we're not strong enough to take care of ourselves.
No.
It's that if something wrong happens to us, somebody can use this system to completely ruin their lives, to take them away from their children, to take them away from their resources, to take them away their reputation, where nobody wants anything to do with them. And they could be the victim. The whole time they could be the victim.
A lot of times they are.
They are. I mean, we've put our guys in chains, man. We really have. Slaves to the system, man.
Well, and then when someone's brave enough to talk about it, oh boy, I keep forgetting his name. That we laugh at him. I mean, one of the popular actor, he got the whole slapping incident earlier this year.
Oh, Will Smith.
Will Smith. There we go. I keep forgetting his name. The Fresh Prince. I should just call him the Fresh Prince, and that's the way I can remember him. But he came out. He's sitting there. The emotion pouring out. I'm talking about what was going on in the abusive relationship. And if you don't believe he's being abused, you and I need to have a chat. Yeah.
I'm conflicted on him. I'm conflicted on him because there's a part of me that felt sorry for him when that Red Table Talk happened. Then saw him what he did to Chris Rock, and he assaulted another one of his guys when he was just making a joke. Yeah. I mean, it's showing. But at that point in time, too, I don't think many people took into consideration the year before he just sat there on national TV and got admitted to that she was having an affair with somebody that was young enough to be his son, right? And if you saw that look on his face and those tears, they tried to say, "Oh, we was in an."
It's a meme.
Oh yeah, dude. They tried to say like we was in an open relationship and stuff like that. And I think many men, when they're going through these, they don't want to leave the relationship, so they'll try to make excuses to make it look like it wasn't as bad as it looked. But he was a guy that was definitely suffering. But then when he did that to Chris Rock, dude, all my respect just went out the window. It really did. But I think it had boiled up, But here he came. You want to know? I mean, I know it became a meme. I've heard the different things on there, but there's one thing that it seemed like the Mighty Mouse in this situation, dude. He let the young knight, the young little princess come in there, take over his role. And when he found out, like, I'm Mighty Mouse, I come to save the day, I'm going to do damage control. The damage is done. And you know what? At some point in time, Dwayne, you got to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not letting you treat me like that anymore. Yeah. There's a guy, he's a superstar. He's got all the money in the world. At what point did he say, I'm not doing this anymore? I'm better than this. I believe in fixing marriages and going on, but that's when somebody can admit they did something wrong. What was she saying? We had an entanglement. She couldn't even admit to what she was doing, bro. Couldn't even admit to what she was doing. And you're telling me that's a relationship where there was any type of forgiveness? Oh, we was both doing it. We was on a hiatus. If that was true, then why were you two still together? Come on, man.
Dude, you're on a break.
Like excuses.
Yeah, she could have admitted. It's just, oh God, it's I mean, that the guy was being abused for years, and I mean, just think about it. I'm sure there's a small segment of the population that would be cool with someone and their wife. I'm just gonna go on the record. I ain't one of them. That would destroy me.
You ain't kidding, dude. And there's like the new open relationships. I mean, there's people that's married and got girlfriends, or I don't know how you do it. You know what? No. I guess
I'm old.
Everybody, take care of their own house. We'll get into that one because I think it's going to get worse though, guys. I don't think we've seen anything. Every time you turn around and you think it can't get any crazier,
Oh, I'm afraid to say that anymore because every time I'm like, oh, this was the one that did it. Someone goes, hold my beer. I'm gonna marry a doll. This woman married a doll, and then like a couple weeks later, the doll cheated on her.
The doll cheated on her.
The doll,
We've had this
DOLL.
conversation. We've had this. Dude, I have to look it up. I posted it on Dad Talk because I was in the airport, trying to pass away the time when I was in my travels, and this headline pops up. A guy had married an anime cartoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he said it was the only person that ever understood him. And they had all these emotions, but here lately he just didn't feel much of a connection or like she was listening to him. Guys, this was not the Babylon Bee.
Yeah, of course. I'm an 80s guy. I'm gonna go Thundercats and Chitara.
Dude, we're getting some of that. See, I like these guys. You guys are all right. I have Dwayne on option. I think Dwayne's going to be joining me a good bit more, man. Whatever we can get him on.
Yeah, Mr. C, your check's in the mail. Thank you so much.
Hey, there you go. Harrison said, yes, this channel's needed. Thank you so much, Dad Talk. I'm inspired and motivated. You should hear us when we're not on the air, the things that we want to say. That's when the real farts and wiener jokes come out.
Yeah, we're 95% reserved on here. When that camera gets turned off, it's on.
See, this one hurt. This one hurt. Oh, I love it. This is going to deserve. He said he's going to be paying that cartoon alimony.
That's a good one.
I like that. I like that cartoon. I mean, you know what though? We was talking about making Will Smith a meme. At what point did that guy become so antisocial or so self-confident that he thought that was his only option?
Yeah.
If we really dig down into it, I mean, it's easy to laugh about. And dude, come on, a cartoon, really? You don't have a connection? She's not talking to you much lately.
Yeah.
But I still get some empathy there because I'm like, this is what we're doing to our guys. I mean, you got guys that would rather marry an anime cartoon, wait until the robots come out. I've seen them where they've married the robots.
The robots, yeah.
And guys, from what I'm told, that is something that is coming in the future. I'm not, take the tinfoil hat off. I'm telling you, do your own research. Like they're talking about making realistic looking humans. I mean, we got a restaurant here, not far from my house. Dwayne, we got robot waitresses now. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. We had a Chinese
that?
restaurant. They have the ones that zip. They zip around. Their legs aren't as good as I'd like them to be, but yeah, they zip around.
You know what? I guarantee you, people start marrying anime cartoons. They start marrying dolls. They start marrying robots. The family courts are going to find out how to incentivize that.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a meme is that, you did know that, was it mosquitoes when they, put eggs in, when they bite you, they put eggs into you. So really, you're really half the father at that point. And I got a meme where our Texas Attorney General sitting there going, yeah, we all don't see the meme, but yeah, they'll again, the Unborn Child Act. That's one right there. They're trying to get that Title 4D money every way they can.
That reminds me, I'm such an 80s kid, dude. Like, you remember that movie, was it Batteries Not Included?
Oh yeah.
Remember
number
the
5.
robots in that?
Yeah, number 5.
Oh, no, that's Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. I'm sorry, yeah. Batteries Not
Alive.
Included was the alien one. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, Batteries Not Included. It was like the little
Little alien.
toy robots.
Yeah.
Was they aliens? I haven't seen that one in a while. Dude, I love Short Circuit, though.
Oh, yeah.
Need more input. I'm alive. I bet you Johnny Five could have made a hell of an attorney, dude. You see how fast he could read those books?
Oh, yeah, he was all
I bet even
zipping
he
through
would
there.
be confused at this crap.
He would be like, does not compute. Hit the sign. I want the damn button, the laugh button. Come on, give it to me. There we go.
I gotta remember those. They're fun. They're fun. Pow. Yeah. Okay. So Roberta. Dad joke. I guess he's talking about the robot.
Oh, Roberta.
That's what I'm gonna start calling Garza.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna like that. I'm playing Robert. I'm playing Robert. He
Oh,
dresses
instead-
nice for all of us. That's the good thing. If you bring Robert, you don't have to dress nice. We just be like, if we feel like we got to talk to somebody important, like, dude, go do it.
Yeah, Robert.
We're gonna sit over here. Yeah. Yeah, just go over there. With that being said, guys, get those voicemails in. I'll be back 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I still got that show I want to play for you. The father, $250,000 a year he makes after child support and alimony was bringing home $25. And I think he still had to pay the alimony. He was going negative. That's a pretty good payday. Okay. And that's what I said. Every time you think, oh, it can't get worse, then somebody says, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted people to hear the emotions. I was very proud of him because this started about 3 years ago. And I'm telling you, it wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't good. But he's got a strong woman in his life that's really helped him. She's actually helped pay those bills, take care of the kids and stuff like that. So that's what I said. There's some good ones out there because there was one of those dads. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know if he was going to make it.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be one of my statistics, man. I honestly did at one point in time. And so when he comes on, we're not going to have his face on the screen. We're not going to say names because it is one of those cases that if he talks out, and next thing you know, next week he'll be in court again. But I want you to hear what that was like for him. And that's how we can protect our guys and their voices. And that's what I say. You want to call in, you want to leave that voicemail, just don't say no names, man. Don't say your name. Just give us the details. This is what I'm calling about, especially you guys that have been through domestic violence. Okay. If you've been a victim of domestic violence and it's hard for you to speak out, don't say any names, but get that crap out, man. You don't need to be wearing that on your sleeve. 762-441-0281. Again, that number 762-441-0281. Guys, help us with this Christmas thing. I'll tell you that the demand is big. And we got to vet these stories, but anything that you can donate down there at those two platforms, Cash App, Venmo, Dad Talk Today, no spaces, 100% of the proceeds is going out. Get this going. I'm going to look at today's earlier's show mixed with tonight's, and somebody's going to get this one right here. This brings all the milkshakes or the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
Well,
a boo in 48.
The Bobs to the yard.
Bobs to the yard.
Bobs to the yard, not the boys to the yard. You guys might not want it then. Okay. And I'm telling you, you should. I like this fabric right here, dude.
Very soft, sensual.
It's amazing.
It's like lamb's wool.
I just wipe my sweat. I mean, now it's like Elvis, right?
Yeah. Like an Elvis thing there.
And now I just added $1,000 in value right there. Thank you very much.
There was that lady. You know what? I'm thinking of different, taking this in a whole different direction, but a money making opportunity. There was a lady who was on 90 Day Fiance, a TV show, and she sold her farts on eBay. I kid you not. You can Google it. And it was I'm wanting to say it was like someone paid I think it was $10,000 for one of in a little jar or whatever of her farts. I am
so, dude, that was a big thing in Asia. I should have asked the guy that was from Japan. The women sell their panties, worn panties, and they'll have a picture to show yes. And I remember Tom Green. I love Tom Green back in the 90s. And he went and showed how that was going on. And he was like, why would I want to buy this used underwear? And the guy's like, to smell the spot. It's to smell the spot. I mean, crazy thing is, but how many people do you think let's get back on the family law. How many people do you think is affected by this? It's got to be millions, dude. I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. We could be near 1 billion.
Are we talking, directly as in divorce court, or do we mean
divorce,
period? Some way?
Yeah, affected some way. I mean, if you affected some way, we could probably go up to about half. Yeah. That's how big it is. And that's what I said. This movement is so big, and we got to grow it. But this is the part that pisses me off. You talk about the girl selling her farts. If you go to YouTube right now, and I could probably pull it up, but I'm not going to get in trouble with copyrights or pulling up somebody else's channel. Robert was showing me this one day, and it was we put so much time into this content, getting the voicemails, getting the graphics, doing everything we do. And there is a channel with this lady that is making bank, dude, millions of views, squishing her head into different loaves of bread.
I've watched that. Yes. Yeah.
She'll go get different loaves of bread from a bakery and just push her head into it. Millions of views for putting her face in bread. Or have you seen the one?
I'm gonna beat my high school guidance counselor up. I mean, that should have been my job.
You guys out there working 80 hours a week, all that money's being taken away from you, like you're talking about. How does it make you feel that somebody's making millions of dollars putting their face in bread? Or how about the ones like, have you seen the Asian ladies that eat the mochis, like the mochis or the mochi ice cream, and they get in the microphone?
Oh, the ASPR or what is that? Something where they do the clickety clack and the
that too, yeah,
yeah, that stuff, yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I'm in the wrong business. Business. It's much easier. I could have just put my face in some bread, but I came here and yapped for you guys. And think about that.
Yeah. We should be millionaires now for that.
Maybe we should just start bringing loaves of bread on here, Dwayne.
You know what? That tomorrow's episode, you will give away to the person that comments the most a imprint of your face,
or like a bottle of fart.
Well, you know what? You can donate whatever you would like, and I can give you as many as you'd like. I will.
You want one of those? I'll send it to you for Christmas.
I will send as many as you need. If you want to fill a hot air balloon, I've got you covered.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end. Join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Are you enjoying these shows? If you are, let us know. And I hope you don't mind the comedy. I have a little fun doing it too. We got to keep it fun, man.
Yeah.
We got to keep it fun, but just because, you want to get on here and you want to do this every day. And if you get locked up in this, man, I pray for every single one of you guys. Is it what brandy?
Yeah.
Spice it up and smash your face in cookie dough instead. Cookie dough.
Hey,
I mean,
we got to spice up the relationship somehow. I mean, she's telling my secrets away.
Jelon, I mean, we're still on here, brother. Oh my God. Watch this be a first-time viewer that was on here talking about us smashing our head in bread.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Who are these whack jobs? Okay, I need advice. Jelon, hit it.
Come on, shoot. Before we get off of here, we want to talk to you, man.
Nobody's going
to. Mandalorian said, good night, everyone. Yes, I do enjoy the shows. Here to support dads. They are important. Thank you. Humor helps for sure. All right. Yeah, we're gonna wait on Jelon.
Yeah.
You never know, man. You never know.
Yeah, you don't know anyone's battle. He may have been Googling who knows what and found it somehow. Hopefully, he got a share from one of someone shared this out and he saw it and said what the hell, called in, or he's wanting to see how I can get on those farts. I don't know. I mean,
I know that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Like, I don't know. I hope it's not. I hope that didn't run him away.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. That's the thing that did it. Oh, yeah. Well,
I would have listened to this though, Dwayne. That's my kind of humor. Dude, if you want some more humor, look up Joey Diaz on Joe Rogan, talking about like farting on the school bus when he was young. He was talking about he loved doing that and like how the teachers would get pissed off at him. And he was doing it one day and everybody was like rushing. The cheerleaders were like putting the windows down, like, Said a couple of minutes later, he does it again. And said one of the teachers like, oh my God, he's changing flavors.
One of my favorite ones, and I actually like to just comment, one of my favorite ones is when you pull up to the stoplight and I'm in the left-hand side of the vehicle, we drive on the left side. And I let, the silent but deadly one, and then the light turns and I go left and the air goes over and smashes her. Those are the best. Okay.
All right, we got to pass on with the gas.
Yeah.
Jelon, don't judge us on that. We're getting to a serious question. Jelon said, I'm constantly arguing with the mother of my kids to just spend time with my kids. I'm always giving money for my kids, but they aren't giving me time, and I don't want the courts to come between me and my kids. I'm always giving money for the kids, but they aren't giving me time. I think dude, I'll give you the bro answer, and I'll give you what you usually hear from the courts. The courts are usually going to say, you don't think the kid needs to be supported and you need to be sending in money because everything is about money. At the same time, the fact that you could be giving somebody money to keep you away from your kids is disgusting, man. It just makes me sick to my stomach. And that's the reason why we keep talking about the importance and changing this. But if you take that argument to court, it's according to what judge you're going to be in front of that day. Really? I mean, most of the time it's going to be you just need to keep that going. I know that's frustrating, and you have a reason to be frustrated, but you are an ATM. That's what you are. You are an ATM.
Well, John, thank you for writing in and giving us a second chance after the some of the last few minutes of the show. But yeah, I mean it's a tough thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, your partner, the mother of your children, there, she already knows how this works on her side. She's got friends. I think they get a book or something. I don't know, but I don't know if you're married, if it's just, if it was, do you have a child, outside of marriage, what state you're in, do you have a current child support order? There's, some questions there, but I don't want the courts to come between me and the kids. That's what they're designed to do. I don't know if you're giving the mother money directly. That can and will come back to bite you. Even if you're putting the name on, this is child support or whatever on the checks, she can actually come back and get you retroactively. The best thing you can do, it looks like a lot of your conflict is, I'm arguing with the mother of my kids all the time, just to spend time with to spend time with the kids. It's chess, not checkers. You've got to find a way to play the chess game. And, gray rock, I'm throwing out probably a couple terms here, but gray rock is basically where you don't have that emotional back and forth. Because you may, and I don't know if you have, but you may be contributing to that. I mean, she's probably off kilter, who knows, but you may be saying things to her that's going to trigger her. And this is a situation with the way the laws are, you're screwed. I mean, she holds all the keys. So, I'm sorry to tell you that. It's the way it is. But, find out ways that you can talk with her, a little gray rock action in there, but to talk with her to get the ultimate goal, which is your kids, not lie to her, not whatever. But, if she says something that normally inflames you and you want to respond back, you got to find a way to change that around and come back and talk calmly about something. And if she calls you a jerk or whatever, yeah, you're probably right. I am. And then, so Thursday, I'm going to pick up my children and we want to go do this and all that. And for the love of God, don't talk about your new squeeze. That
no,
dynamite.
God, no.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I mean, especially if you're not married, you don't have an established court order. A number of things there. If you already have an established court order, that's a different story because you have whatever custody you have, and there are remedies. Although I call it the Diet Coke of remedies. It's just a little bit of flavor in there, not a whole lot of flavor. But there are some remedies there if you already have a court order. But the best thing is keep it out of the course as best you can. I like to learn more, maybe write into the support area. Dad Talk Today has a support area on Facebook that you can go into. Throw some questions there and also just provide some information. You're married, you're not married, you have a court order, you don't have a court order, you're in X state. This is what's going on, and see if you can, get some good conversation. There are lots of parents in there that are more happy and willing to help you out.
He said, I'd like to give you guys the whole rundown of the situation. Dude, get us the voicemail in. I'll try my best to get it on tomorrow's show. We're going to cut it for tonight, but that number is 762-441-0281. I've said it 100 times in this show. And scrolling down at the bottom of the screen, I give it to you one more time. 762-441-0281. We'd love to hear from you. Until then, guys, it's a new week. I'm sure tomorrow you might be at work, but you can watch me with the volume off because we do have closed captioning. We do. Yeah. Don't tell your boss that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll put it on the screen. Like on the Office TV or something like that. But join us then, and we're going to have content coming to you all week, 10 a.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, Dwayne, we'll do it again next time, brother.
Yes, we will. Thank you again. Thank you to all the folks out there. Thank you for joining in. Cannot wait to talk to y'all again.
Yep, and keep liking and sharing.
Keep liking and sharing.
I'm putting more money in it right now. All right, see you guys.
Never say